Hey guys, my name is Alexa and this video is diving into what it means to be an empath and also some tips that have worked for me to help me to not feel drained when I'm around people and to see being an empath as being a gift and empowering rather than being something that is draining and overwhelming. So let's get into it. Some of you might be wondering, what does it mean to be an empath? Well, typically, some common experiences that people who identify as empaths share are that they're highly sensitive to the energy of the people around them. They can often get a gut feeling about another person's intentions and their mood without that other person seemingly giving any major indication. Some downsides that some people express if they do think that they're a highly sensitive person are that they can become drained by being around lots of people for a long period of time. They'll just feel really tired. And I've also heard people say that they can end up taking on the feelings of other people around them and then end up getting depressed or anxious, but those feelings didn't even originate within themselves. They're just picking that up from other people. And I've experienced this personally, and it has been something that I've learned to not do. Not take on the other feelings as my own. Or if I end up taking them on, I'll just realize, okay, like that's not my feeling, and not dwell on it or think about it anymore. And think about ways that I can maybe show up for that person in a way that can help them rather than become overwhelmed by someone else's feelings. If you identify with being an empath, you might find that the energy in the room greatly affects you. You might find that you get tired or drained after spending time with a large group of people, and that after days of a lot of social activity or being around a lot of people, you need that alone time to go and recharge and decompress and feel like yourself again. Some people can also feel the emotions of other people. So this is different than noticing and being observant about someone else's emotions. Rather, it's taking on their emotions as a feeling of your own. And that can be something that's troubling for people if they're not aware of how to properly deal with it. But I'm gonna tell you how I've learned to deal with that, and maybe it will help you as well. Also, if you do identify as being an empathic person or a highly sensitive person, I implore you to dive in and explore your sensitivities and then find what works for you to help to protect your energy, because what I'm going to share with you might help you or it might not resonate with you. So regardless, if you think you're a highly sensitive person or an empath, I highly suggest you research it, explore your sensitivities, feel into it, and find something that works for you. I find a lot of people who are just discovering that they're an empath, they feel almost like victimized, like, why do I have to feel everything? It's so challenging and draining. But being someone who's found a way to protect my energy, I think that being an empath is a gift, because it's like the universe nudging you to get on a path that's right for you and to spend time around people who are an energetic match, and to be engaging in activities that are an energetic match for you. I also really encourage anyone who identifies with being an empath to really pay attention to times when you feel drained, because this is a really good indication that you're doing something that isn't an energetic match for you, or that you're spending time with people who aren't an energetic match for you. Being an empath is actually such a gift because it allows you to be sensitive enough to energy to help yourself out. For empaths to feel more grounded and to help raise your frequency is to fill your space with plants or spend more time in nature. Nature is very grounding, and having plants around you is going to help to raise your vibe and to give you a feeling of groundedness. I've read a lot of articles where people say that if you are an empath, to picture this white light shield around you. That might work for people. It's never worked for me. So instead, if I'm around someone who I think, is going through a rough time and, you know, they could be draining my energy, I don't want to think of them in a way where they're draining my energy, because that's just going to make them drain my energy more. It's going to make me think that they are an antagonist when they're not. It's just a person who's going through something, and they might not be in the perfect like energy space right now, and I don't want to make them out to be an antagonist, because that's not the case. So instead, if I'm around someone who's going through a rough time, instead of taking on their energy and being like, oh my God, like, I don't want to feel the way this person's feeling, I will realize that they're just going through a rough time, and it's a gift that I can be so intuitive to feel part of what they're going through, and I send them love, and I just try to be there in a way that I can be while setting boundaries for myself. And of course, if it's someone who doesn't respect your boundaries, then, you know, you might want to reconsider having that person in your life. But if it's just someone who's going through a hard time and you find it difficult to be around them, I always find sending that person feelings of love rather than taking on their energy is really helpful. So as soon as you feel that other person's negative feeling, just send them a lot of love. Just focus on the feeling of love. Empathic traits are here to help you, not hurt you. And it's your own intuitive guidance system that's helping you to be in tune to your own feelings, to other people's feelings, and to put yourself in a place that is in energetic alignment with your higher self.